welcome to today's episode of The Human Angle. Happy new month to you. Insurance plays a significant role in situations where a loss occurs and it can be tricky. It's not like buying a chair or a shirt or even groceries. When you buy insurance, you're buying a promise. A promise that if something disastrous happens to you or your business, your carrier is going to assist you to make it whole again. Therefore, on today's episode, we'll be discussing insurance penetration and cover in Nigeria. And we have on the show with us management consultant and insurance expert, Mr. Ekerete Ola Gam-Ikon. Thank you very much for joining us on the program today. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you very much, Taiwo. I'm happy to be here.
All right. So first,
it's a pleasure to discuss insurance.
Yes, thank you very much for coming on, sir. All right. So first, I would like to ask, how critical is insurance to a huge and densely populated nation like Nigeria?
Insurance is very critical, especially because we've got a much higher number of people that we usually describe as poor and vulnerable. So what insurance does is, some people will say insurance takes from the rich to pay poor. So when you are part of a pool whereby some people will be affected by the risk around us and others may not be. So when those who are affected, by unexpected losses or damage, they get paid by insurance. That's how it works. So you would then see that otherwise, for the lack of awareness, lack of knowledge of insurance, people should be doing insurance. But you also find out that it's also got to do with, the ineffective manner that we go about financial planning, personal financial planning. Because if you got to do personal financial planning, then you would see the place of insurance in it, So it's critical, very critical. And if you were to look at it from the point of governance, it's also something that government that has made the law should also, be driving to ensure that your actions don't put me in danger. That really is the place of insurance in the society.
All right, thank you very much, sir. But I'm looking at the fact that Nigeria is still grappling with a low insurance penetration rate of below 2%. Why would you say that is the case in your perspective?
Interestingly, it's not only Nigeria that is struggling with the level of insurance penetration. Even countries that have as high as 17%, you can imagine 17% of the population is still not there. Yes, Nigeria's case, it's below 1%. Well, it's below 1% if you compare it to the GDP. But even if you compare it to the population, it's still below 1%. So you find out that Nigeria is undergoing what a number of other countries are going. Insurance is not loved by people. Where insurance has worked, it's been by enforcement of the law, and that's because you cannot take certain things that you call assets out of where you buy them without doing insurance for them. So insurance is usually gotten at the point of purchase in those environments, and it's gotten to that point where everyone understands that you are better off having insurance than being caught not having insurance. Because what you will pay for not having insurance will be almost 10 times what you would have paid to have insurance. So it makes it, I would say, very discouraging not to have insurance in those environments. Now, part of what we are dealing with here is, one, the issue that people do not know. Secondly, the issue of enforcement. Now, the law is there, and people are generally required to do let's take, for example, the minimum insurance for vehicles, which is the
Okay.
third-party motor.
Yes.
But people do not know that third-party motor has got some benefits, which would encourage them not just to see it as complying with the law, but putting myself
Exactly.
in a position where, in the event that something goes wrong,
Happens.
I'll be safe and the other party will be safe. I mean, if you have a third party cover and is giving you access to up to 1 million naira to fix the car of the other person, you will understand that we don't have any basis to fight on the street and incur problems that are even more than that 1 million. Sometimes people lose their lives on account of just fighting over issues like that. So that could be done. So it's not a case of just leaving enforcement in the hands of those that are meant to push the law, but it also has to do with individuals being aware and then knowing that they've got to follow the path of
Exactly.
the law.
All right, you rightly mentioned the fact that there's a need for awareness because the truth is, like you rightly said, many people, even the third-party insurance on a car, I think it's about 5,000 naira. Many people don't even know that they can. Many people just do it because it's an enforced law that it should be done. Now, how do you think we can actually create this awareness and education on insurance? And then what exactly is the role of NICOM and the operators through the NIA?
Okay, so the thing about awareness is that um, we've got to do one thing from the insurance perspective. We've got to find people who know how to do awareness campaigns. We've got to collaborate with them. I mean, here I am speaking with Web TV. I'm creating awareness,
Yes.
and so that engagement must be left for those who are willing and ready and happy to create the awareness. Because what you don't know, you don't know. You really have to learn it, and because you are in a business, the time for learning it's not there. So the right thing to do is to engage, collaborate, and get parties that know how to do it to work with you to do it. And I do know that the media, has shown interest to the point of some media houses dedicating reporters to insurance and all of that. But it doesn't look like that is well utilized. Yes, sometimes we find reports in papers and things like that, but it's not enough. You have not heard of any annual insurance awareness event. And by the way, there is an insurance awareness day all over the world. And I'm happy that I was part of those that joined this year to bring Nigeria into fore in that regard. So we need to, from the regulatory point, NICOM needs to engage in that respect. It's not too much to call editors of newspapers, media houses, even if it's once in a year, beyond the reporters, and say to them what your plan is. So they can connect with you, and on an annual basis, or sorry, on a monthly basis, they can then be reporting updates on what's going on. And the other thing that NICOM, in my view, needs to do is NICOM is the government when it comes to insurance. So NICOM has got to, let the government, be aware of what needs to be done. Because sometimes when you speak with even policymakers, their perception, about insurance is not good. It's not good, and it's something that needs to be addressed. Why it's not good is that they have had their own personal experience with insurance. There's no trust when it comes to insurance. People don't trust that their claims will be paid, and so it's only when claims have been paid that you can say insurance happened.
And you can be visibly seen. Your testimonies, comfort, saying
Otherwise,
insurance
insurance
works.
has not happened. And that comes to what insurance operators are also meant to do. Let people know from the point of buying insurance that it is possible to make a claim. I mean, I heard that recently from a webinar from some guy who said, look, when people know that they can make a claim and get their claims paid, they will do insurance. It's as logical as that, and I can tell you also that sometimes the problem is not just awareness. People are aware, but they are not also knowledgeable of, what needs to be done with the awareness they have. Okay, so what I mean is someone has taken up an insurance policy and he is not even aware that he is in a contract with that insurance company. So when you are in a contract, you read the contract documents, and if there is no space for you to sign, then you can reject it and say, oh, I'm not going to do it, because a contract is something that is between two parties. So if only one party decides to give me a document, and it is when something happens, the only party who knows what was in the document begins to interpret it to me, then there's something wrong with that. So the issue is more than awareness. What knowledge do I have of what I have gone into? It's a contract, and I need to know it's a contract and do it like a contract, which means I can reject what is there when I've read it, and I can also accept. And in accepting, I should know that when something happens, I have a role to play.
Exactly. All right. So, like you said, really there are a lot of fears, and then there's usually a mistrust on whether, because I've heard people say that, okay, you might collect life insurance, and then they've seen scenarios where the person passes on, and then they're struggling on how to collect and all of that. But what exactly, looking at the outlook for the Nigerian insurance industry, what exactly do you see should be the outlook, especially in micro insurance, and then how can individuals tap from this and benefit from it?
Okay, so when you look at I mean, like we spoke about earlier, when you look at how critical insurance is to the kind of population that we have in Nigeria, you'll find out that it comes to the issue of affordability, it comes to the issue of availability, it comes to the issue of, I mean, just being able to meet up with obligations, right? So you find out that sometimes I just want to buy insurance for a short trip. And so why do I need to buy insurance, for 1 year when I need it for a short trip? So that's the sense of micro insurance. And it also says that if I needed to pay for insurance and I cannot pay the lump sum of even the 5,000 that you have called for third party, can I pay by installments? Because part of why insurance is not happening, to be honest with you, is sometimes also people cannot afford to pay. They want to do it, but they cannot afford to pay. And the insurance company will say, well, that is what is available. If you can't pay for 1 year, forget it. So micro insurance comes into play, both in terms of the kind of products that we can have for people, and the way and manner we will get them to pay for those insurance products. I do know from the guidelines that with micro insurance, you cannot do the micro insurers cannot insure properties more than 2 million naira. And so that really says a lot about the access it has provided for people at the top of the pyramid and people that are not able. So when you look at that, it means that your motorcycle, your tricycles, and all of that, and even cars that are below 2 million can be insured. We do know that some houses are built with 1.5 million. Even you see real estate advertisers saying, So at the end of the day, it becomes available for those people. But the real issue is people have to understand that insurance is difficult to sell insurance on its own. It's got to be an add-on, or something that is embedded in whatever is being sold. So people can buy it, and when the risk crystallizes, people can then come in and make a claim. If we are not getting it right in terms of claims payments, with what we are doing now, the micro insurance area is even more challenging with claims payments. So we shouldn't even go there and expect that these poor people will stand back and look at you owing them claims for 3 years, 4 years, 2 years, and all of that. It's not going to happen. But if you ask me, the greatest chance that we have to increase insurance penetration in Nigeria is through the micro insurance channel and maybe Takaful. So that's what I expect to see with micro insurance in Nigeria.
I must say it's a very valid point you made in the fact that there needs to be allowance for people to be able to pay instrumentally. As paying in a huge bulk might be a heavy burden, especially in financial situations that we even are currently in. But would you think that applying the use of technology and IT would aid further, or would you say there's probably a mistrust on the insurance organizations in saying that there should be payments installmentally?
Let me tell you, let me put it this way. Digitization
Is going to be what will save the insurance industry in Nigeria. That's because people, we're talking about the issue of trust. And so people have learned how not to trust insurance people. Let's put it that way. You know, but we do know that technology, which means robots that will not complain, that will get the job done, that will not over talk, that will not over promise, you know, and under deliver, will just get the job done, you know. And so what it will mean is that I can, you know, press my phone, get a product, and I can also press my phone and get my claims paid, you know. That's why I say it will save the insurance industry in Nigeria. So the real issue there is that insurance companies have to learn to trust, you know, this system, because it has worked elsewhere, and it doesn't require them, you know, to do another kind of investment, so to say. What they need to do is, like I pointed out earlier, is to collaborate with different people who are offering this kind of services. I mean, we've seen video clips of how insurance is done in advanced economies through digital solutions. I mean, with the help of digital solutions. So it's really, for me, the solution that will save the industry from itself, because people are tired of, you know, having an agent come to my office every day, put pressure on me to buy insurance. When something happens, I can't find that agent, or if I can find him, it's systems that will be built up. We don't do it right, but if we do it right, then we will find out that it will help, you know, onboard a lot of people when it comes to, you know, insurance. I mean, because if you are going to have to buy insurance, and you can sit in your home and scan and get different options and decide. Then in the same sense, when it comes to claims, it ends. And so insurance really comes down to the issue of experience. What's the experience I'm having with this company? What's the experience you are having? Once we compare and we know which one is right, we go in that direction. That's what I see.
Thank you so much. I mean, digitalization cannot be overemphasized, becoming really more than even a global village. But looking at the fact that the international flights will resume this week, precisely on Saturday, what are the opportunities for areas like travel insurance, especially with the unfortunate incidents like the recent helicopter crash that happened in Lagos last week?
Oh, well, very unfortunate situation. However, from the reports we are getting, the pilot, may he so rest in peace, did a fantastic job of ensuring that more lives were not lost in that incident. Travel insurance has always been a necessity, I would say, though we have chosen to see it as something that has to do with only air travels. I mean, the fact that I'm traveling from Lagos to Abuja, or from Abuja to Kaduna, you know, the issues on the road and all of that. We should begin to think of travel insurance in this context also. So yes, the international flights are going to resume and all of that. But the interesting thing is that some of these airlines have taken the wind out of insurance, in the sense that they are saying they are offering free insurance. I've heard that from two different international airline operators, and I'm wondering, okay, does that give insurance room to? It means insurance is getting out of it. Otherwise, it's fine, and insurance will only take advantage of this situation and go ahead. That's what I think. I really do think that it's an opportunity for insurance, and insurance needs to seize that opportunity.
Wow. But conclusively, what would you say? What would be your will I say advice to Nigerians basically on the facts that they need to get insured on various aspects of their lives, and then how can they really merge it with their personal finances?
Okay, so I have said in my personal mission and campaign around insurance that no Nigerian should go to work or travel without insurance. You know, why would you want to leave your house? I mean, in fact, talking about the helicopter crash, it met people in their homes. So it is that bad. So why would you even want to leave your house without any kind of cover? Now, the challenge people have pointed out to me is that, look, Nigerians are going through a lot of challenges now. People don't have money to even feed. Why would they spend money on insurance? I said, look, you are missing it because um, people that are moving around, you know, uh, and trying to get money to feed and trying to get money to parents and all of that. All of these things have solutions by way of one insurance product or the other. All right. So if you are afraid of falling ill and going to the hospital, there's health insurance. If you are afraid of not being able to send your child to school, there's education policy. If you are afraid of how to pay your rent, there is savings insurance. You know, I mean, and what it does is that when you are saving with an insurance company, in the event that you even die, you know, your savings will go to your beneficiaries. And so you would have left something behind, you know. So we've got to begin to discuss insurance not as something aside from us, but if we recognize that we are living with some risk, then we've got to discuss insurance as something that we have in our pockets to enable us, you know, not get hurt by the danger that we have in our different environments. That's how we've got to see it. It has to be a lifestyle, you know. It has to be like the clothes you wear. But I know we are not there yet, but this is where we are going in terms of getting people to understand it. And a lot of what will make people understand it is that it has worked for Taiwo, it has worked for Ola, so it can work for Obi, it can work for Musa. So those are the issues that we need to address. And that's why we have a lot of work to do in terms of awareness.
And I know that hopefully we'll get there in few years.
No, we are on that journey. Like we always say, this is not where we were some years ago.
Exactly.
When it comes to insurance, you know, the discussions are increasing, and we can only take advantage of the fact that discussions are increasing and tell people the right thing that they need to know.
And know that it's for our general good and even personal good as well.
Oh yes, oh yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the program today. It was great to have you with us, Mr. Ekerete Ola Gam-Ikon. Great insights on the subject matter, and would be happy to have you again on the program in the nearest future.
Thank you so much. Always my pleasure.
Yes. All right, and that brings us to the end of today's edition of the Human Angle. If you have questions or comments, kindly send a mail to programs@proshareng.com and business@proshareng.com. We'll be very glad to hear from you. Visit our website www.proshareng.com to get more information on your personal finance and updates for our news stories and videos. Also follow us on our social media platforms shown on the screen for further updates on our market reports. So we'll come again, we'll wait again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye for now, and please keep staying safe.